Welcome to the Organic English Podcast, Episode 1. My name is Chadwick. In today's episode, I will be breaking down the various ways you can use the phrase, "Are you sure?" I will also share a random conversation with my good friend Kimiya. And finally, I will share an NPR article related to tech giants and rising sea levels in Silicon Valley. Let's do this. You're listening to the Organic English Show, a podcast that inspires English language learners to grow in fluency, but most importantly in confidence when speaking in English. I am your host and friend, Chadwick. I've been an English tutor on the italki platform since 2018. On this podcast, I will be breaking down English sentence structures and patterns. I'll also be talking to inspiring English language learners and teachers from around the world, as well as offering some commentary on current global events that have captured my attention. Thank you so much for spending your time here today. Let's begin. English phrases and patterns. Today's phrase, "Are you sure?" Are you sure all by itself? It means that you are not sure or confident about something. You have doubts and you want to question the situation. An example, person A, "We have to leave now if we are going to get there on time." Person B, "Are you sure?" "I think we have plenty of time." The conclusion is, "Are you sure?" is a simple way that you can respond to a situation or pattern that you have doubts about. Are you sure about? Use this with that and this. So, are you sure about that? Are you sure about this? Use this when you want to question something specific, something that could have already happened. We use that. Something that could happen in the future, we use this. An example for that, person A, "I think the game has already started." Again, something that already happened. I think the game has already started. Person B, "Are you sure about that?" An example for this, person A, "I think I am going to quit my job." Something that could happen in the future. "I think I am going to quit my job." Person B, "Are you sure about this?" Meaning, is this something that you really want to do? Are you sure of? You say, are you sure of who? Are you sure of what? Are you sure of when? Are you sure of where? Are you sure of why? Use this when you want to clarify something. Examples, "Are you sure of who you talk to at the office?" This is regarding people. "Are you sure of what we need at the store?" Regarding stuff and things. "Are you sure of when the appointment is scheduled?" Regarding time. "Are you sure of where you left your cell phone?" Regarding location. "Are you sure of why we need to wake up so early?" It's regarding reasons. And finally, "Are you sure that?" Using he, she, it, they, plus a verb, plus an object. We use this when you need more information about people or things. Example, "Are you sure that," phrase, "Bill," or he, "knows," is our verb, "where to go?" Are you sure that Bill knows where to go? Are you sure that he knows where to go? Next, "Are you sure that," phrase, "Jill," or she, "will be," there's our verb, "at the restaurant"? Are you sure that Jill will be at the restaurant? Are you sure that she will be at the restaurant? Next. Are you sure that, it's the phrase, the gym, or it, is open, there's our verb, on Sundays? Are you sure that the gym is open on Sundays? Are you sure that it is open on Sundays? Finally, are you sure that, the phrase, the students, or they, have had, there's our verb, enough time to study? Are you sure that the students have had enough time to study? Are you sure that they have had enough time to study? And there's our grammar for today. The last time we talked, you said that I looked old.
Yes, you look old.
What do you mean by that, though? Like, what do you mean I look? Is it my hair?
Yes.
What? Am I looking
Look,
gray now?
you have to accept the fact that you're getting old. Okay, that's a fact.
There's a difference between me accepting that I'm old and you starting a conversation by saying, "Wow, you look old."
The last time that we spoke, look. I'm sorry that I told you that you're old. Okay.
You don't have to be sorry. I'm just saying. It's a strange way to start a conversation.
No, I just wanted to joke about that, like you do it all the time.
I joke about you.
Yes.
Well, it's possible I do. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I do. There's the kitchen thing.
2 or 3 or 4 children thing.
Yeah, but I promised myself that in this conversation I wouldn't go there.
Okay. Good for you. And
So
thank you.
So now we've been able to establish that you start conversations by calling people old, and then you bring up the things that I don't want to talk about.
Like what?
The kitchen thing, the kids thing.
Okay, look. All things are not the right things to joke about. I don't understand this, okay?
I understand it. You understand it. And I apologize. Did you want to talk about tea? You can spill the tea?
Yes, I wanted to talk about tea and coffee, mostly about tea because I remember that we've been talking about tea and coffee, and you said most Americans prefer coffee over tea, and I was like, no, it's not like that in Iran, and most Iranian people prefer tea over coffee, and we had that discussion, so I think this topic might be a little interesting to talk about.
So tea, is it just for the morning in Iran, or is it like an afternoon and evening drink as well? Like,
no, people in here like they drink tea all the time. They drink tea in the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at night, while they're having their breakfast, while they're eating lunch or dinner. They drink it all the time. So it's like it's more than just a drink. It's like a thing that brings people together and, in ceremonies and weddings. Maybe if you're sad, they say drink tea. If you're happy, you're just gonna go ahead and have a cup of tea. So it's like that in here.
My kids talk about tea, but they say, "Hey, Dad, spill the tea." Do you know what that means? Spill the tea?
Tell the truth.
It's actually more about gossip. Like if there's some drama, like kids will be like, "Hey, I've got some tea." I'm like, "Oh, you got tea?" Okay,
Mm.
yeah. I'm like, spill it. And then that's what the kids say now. It's like spill the tea. It's gossip. Mm-hmm.
It's an idiom. It's a good one to use, but we don't have it in here.
Okay. So you laughed about how I made my tea.
Yes, about that weird video that I sent you on Instagram. That I'm really confused about how you guys make tea. You've been just adding sugar and then I don't know, boil it and then freeze it. We don't do that. It's not uh, the real way, maybe, to make tea. I think only Americans do that.
You talking? Okay. You said putting the sugar in it. Like you guys don't sweeten your tea at all.
Some people like it, but only for breakfast. Maybe we call it sweet tea. Yeah, it's chai shirin in Persian. And some people like it, but it's not really good for your health. And you should not have it. You should not drink sweet tea every day. I mean it, because it's not good for your health. But even though it's not good for your health, some people love it and they have it every day. So
Okay. Is it the high sugar content that you're concerned about?
yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. So then how okay, explain to me like are there different flavors for different times of the day, or do people just like say I like this type of tea?
Mostly black tea. People
Okay.
drink black tea, and it's really, I don't know, it's a rumor or I don't know how to say it, what to call it, but there is this rumor around that they say if you drink green tea, you're gonna lose weight, and I know somehow it's true, but only the people who want to lose some weight might wanna drink green tea because personally I don't like the taste of it. But yeah, as I said, 99% of people usually drink black tea over here. They
Okay.
like it.
Okay.
Mhm.
Then how do you make it? Because that was one of your issues is how we made it. The video that you sent me, it had I
Yeah.
think like the Lipton tea bags.
Yeah. No, Lipton. We don't like Lipton. I mean, I think maybe 50%. Okay, I should not be generalizing this, but I think maybe 60 or 70% of Iranian people wouldn't like to drink their tea, which is made by Lipton. We
Okay.
have this dried uh, tea leaf, which is like somehow this big, and we put a spoon of it in a teapot, maybe. Okay, let me start from the beginning. I think you're a little confused. Okay, yeah, every house in here has a container called samovar. I think it's a Russian word, samovar. I think maybe they call it samovar, but we call it samovar. It's a large container, like this big, maybe, or even this big, or this big. Yeah. Uh, it's a container for heating water in it, and it has a place on it which you can place the teapot, so the heat will make your tea. Or you can just have a kettle, an ordinary kettle, and again a teapot. So these two they don't have to mix together.
Okay,
And
pause.
in the kettle.
Pause real quick. What's the difference between a teapot and a kettle? Because here, like, we would say it the same thing. Teapot and kettle, they're the same thing.
Kettle is bigger, and it's usually used for boiling the water. And then teapot is only used for the tea itself. You put 1 spoon or 2 spoon of a tea in it, and you add a little water in it, and you put it on the kettle. Just the heat will make it juicier. And yeah.
Okay. So the kettle is where you boil the water. The teapot is where the tea brews, right?
It's brews, yeah.
Brews. Okay. You just put the leaves right into the teapot. They're not in a bag or anything like the Lipton ones that are so popular over here.
No, they're not delicious.
You seem to think that it was funny that I make my tea in my Keurig machine, like with the little capsule. Like, is that even more absurd of an idea to you that I can use a Keurig machine just to spit some tea out real quick?
I think we call that chai sauce in Persian. And again, some old people maybe like you.
There you go again. Okay.
Yeah, won't like the taste. They say it doesn't taste like the original tea. They say it's not that delicious when you make it with that one. So yeah, again, some people around here make tea the way that you make because they found it easier.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, we love convenience. Come on now. Now, do you drink coffee at all?
Drink coffee, but not every day, maybe once or twice a week. Maybe when I want more energy, I might drink a cup of coffee. It's not my cup of tea.
We keep the coffee pot right next to the bed so that, like, when the alarm clock goes off, I just reach over and push the button and it starts brewing.
I mean, you're addicted to coffee, to drinking coffee, and some people over here are like that. They are like, oh my God, I have to drink 3 cups of coffee per day, and
No, it's true. I have 3 cups of coffee before I even start working in the morning, to be honest. Mm-hmm. No, we keep it right next to the bed so that, like especially on the weekends when we don't have to do anything, we can just sit in bed for like an hour and just keep refilling the cups. It's an addiction, you say?
yes.
Most of the time, I just drink it like black. I like it strong and black.
Tea is not just an ordinary drink in here. It really gathers people together. It's like, for example, grandmas and grandpas. They're like, okay, we're having tea. Come and join us. Come and drink tea. It's like a special thing in here. Maybe coffee is not like that in your country, but tea is really important for uh, us. There are lots of memes and jokes about how Iranian people drink tea, even if it's hot that you can't breathe because of the weather. But they usually drink tea. It's something unstoppable. If you're Iranian, and even if it's hot in your home, in your house, You're gonna have to drink tea. If you were an Iranian, you would have understand me.
Is that still a hot tea, or do you guys dare pour it over ice?
No, it's again a hot tea.
Let's see. I've known you since December of 2018. That's when I started teaching English online. It was like the first 2 weeks of my teaching. So like I didn't have any students. All I had was like time, and I'm staring at my screen all day wondering when somebody's going to book a lesson with me. A lesson. And I think there was in the community forum, one of us must have said like, "Hey, if anybody wants to talk." I don't remember if it was you or if it was me, but like there we were, like anyways, we connected. We've been talking ever since, and
Yes.
yeah, it's been fun. And thank you for talking with me for my first podcast. It means a lot.
Um, Thanks for asking me because, as I always say, you're just not a tutor to me. You're just a friend,
Mhm.
a great friend of mine. And yeah, thanks for having me and asking me to be on this podcast on the
Yeah,
first episode.
yeah, we'll do it again. Okay. Thanks for listening to the Organic English Podcast. Join the conversation today by becoming a part of the community on Facebook or Instagram. Just search for Organic English US. You can also support the podcast financially over on Patreon. Again, just search Organic English US. And while you're here, download and subscribe to the podcast for free on iTunes or whatever platform you use for audio goodness. Leave a rating and a review. We'd love to hear from you. Now, let's get back to the show. Current events, tech giants, and rising seas. Today I will be reading a portion of an article from the NPR website. Its title is, "Who Will Pay to Protect Tech Giants from Rising Seas?" I have posted a link to the full article in the description. Please take some time to read the rest of the article on your own. Also, please join in the discussion in the comments. Today's question, who should pay? Thanks in advance for joining the conversation. Let's get reading. Coastal cities need billions of dollars to build defenses against sea level rise. Tensions are growing over where that funding will come from, taxpayers or private companies with waterfront properties. In the heart of Silicon Valley, the world's biggest tech companies are expanding their headquarters on the edges of San Francisco Bay. Google has bought more than 70 properties in the past 5 years in Sunnyvale to expand its campus worth almost $3 billion. Farther north, Facebook has acquired properties now worth more than $2.5 billion in the last decade. The company has built a state-of-the-art campus designed by world-renowned architect Frank Gehry. Nearby, some of the few low-income communities in Silicon Valley are also vulnerable to flooding. In just a few decades, sea levels could rise almost 2 feet, flooding the area if a major storm hits. This map shows 1.7 feet of sea level rise, plus a 20-year storm event with no additional shoreline protection. By the end of the century, the risk is even greater. Map shows 4.9 feet of sea level rise, plus a 20-year storm event with no additional shoreline protection. Google's campus is at risk too. Local governments are planning to build massive levee projects to hold the water back, costing hundreds of millions of dollars. The price is more than they can afford. What's certain, the water is coming. What's not certain, who should pay for it? So what do you think? Who should pay? Please be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you for listening to the Organic English Podcast. Please visit organicenglish.us for links to things we talked about in today's episode, including a transcript of everything you heard today. I hope you found it helpful, and we'll talk again soon. Till next time, goodbye. Thank you.